Morning, everybody. Gotta do a quick video this morning as the world turns, as we head into this holiday season. It's a good thing I don't believe in their crap. It's a good thing I don't buy their shoot stuff. Yeah, I'm glad I don't believe. Sorry, guys. Y'all know how it is. First thing, I'm always a little bit. And I try to clear out before we get started. But that might take another 20, 30 minutes. So I try to struggle through it. But speaking of, I'm glad I don't believe. There's some things that I'm glad I'm starting to believe. And let me tell you, it's crazy. What do I got here? Oh my God. There was some message from YouTube about moderation. Moderation helps everyone. I'll quit moderating my videos. But some of the things I do believe in. And I saw this video last night. You might have seen it. This old Scary Worlds video about Hercules powder. This is crazy. And let me find this one spot. This stuff's pretty good.
And she has the stuff.
Let me get this all set up. But yeah, I don't know if you had seen it. Hercules powder. And the good old days, right? I don't know if y'all had seen that or not. But this, like right here, he reads out this deal about the company policy. And I mean, this thing is sitting there just talking about how we shape this world. You see, you have like the Empire State Building, I think before it was even built. And then like Tartarian buildings, industry, big manufacturing, machinery, but they're all chained to it. Kind of crazy. But this was an interesting little little video about like powder, dynamite, basically. What this thing says it has, let's see further in here, it lays down a list of its products. Oh, and this was crazy part right here too, where it talks about having a plant the size of Manhattan just to make this Hercules powder, to fuel the war effort, to fuel, society. But some of these things we've seen in this journey for truth, we're finding this crazy shit. You see, like here, sporting, cannon, mining, blasting, and Hercules powder. Orders received for Hercules caps and fuses. But here, the story of Hercules is Hercules slayed giants. And a lot of people are theorizing that's one of the mysteries to the reset. Everybody says, well, there's a reset. We know there's a reset. Well, this is kind of one of those things that, these companies came along and blew up cities, blew up, artifact, killed giants, had to go around killing giants, before they could settle their newfound properties. But I say it every time on here, there's no way that our world and the history we've been given is not the end times. It just can't be. Christ has returned. It's all done, and this is the one last chance God gave the devil to deceive the nations once more, and he's doing it. He's doing pretty good. I think and that leads me into this guy right here. Check out this dude. He's got some meat. This old dude's got some good info. If you hadn't watched him, go check this dude out, man. This is good stuff.
1 century after their expulsion by Tsar Alexander I, the Jesuits will again undertake the conquest.
This guy has a whole history, man, of the Catholic Church, the Rosicrucians, the Jesuits, the Masons, the Shriners, the whole lot of them. And this is a they're kind of long, most of them, but they're very good.
Slavic world suffer. They were slaughtered by the millions. History will show what happened there when Stalin, probably one of the greatest mass murderers of all time, did his thing. Frederick the Great, so-called, of Prussia, caused the high degrees of Masonic constitutions of the ancient rite to be revived, and he...
See that kind of stuff? I didn't know that, but I'm glad I know that now. I'm glad I'm believing that. Yeah, wait a minute. These guys are bad. A Supreme Council of 33 degree Masons.
He himself wrote the constitutions under the guide of the Jesuit general. Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, Albert G. Mackey says that himself. Very interesting. And now notice this. This is a source that's unbelievable. This is Isis Unveiled by Blavatsky herself, the author of Secret Doctrine. She says that the rites are the offspring of the sons of Ignatius Loyola. The Scottish Rite and all of these worked under the instructions from the general of the Jesuits. So who controls Freemasonry? The Jesuits, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, we have confirmed the induction of the Knights Templar Mason.
Yeah, give this guy a watch. He's got some shorter videos. But yeah, he has it all, but he's one of those, like I say, that goes right up to the line and says, but we're waiting on Jesus Christ to return. You just laid out a whole plan by the devil using the Catholic Church to manipulate and corrupt the whole world. And you admit that this whole plan has been carried out beautifully. And you couple that with the physical evidence out there of like the buildings and the melted mountains and the unexplained history that they just can't cover for. Just keep going. All the stuff. Hercules powder. Hercules powder. And pretty simple to me. Pretty simple. We're in that short season, baby. Wake and bake with you guys. But Yeah, I ran across that old dude. He's got some good videos, man. He he don't like the Catholics. He don't like the Pope. He don't like the Jesuits, Rosicrucians, Freemasons. None of them. As he knows their deal. He knows their deal. Oh, I forgot. One day Alan told me not to put my coffee in the screen like that. So I put things off screen. How's that? But this whole thing going down right now in our realm, across the realm, is just kind of like that's all it can be. That's all it can be. As they talk about, oh yeah, Christ is going to return. Oh, we see the signs. Man, come on. What signs? The signs in the Bible of the return of Christ is Jesus Christ himself telling those people, you shall not taste death. This generation won't pass away. Those who pierced my side will see my return. That's enough for me. He ain't lying. He didn't lie to those people. Are those, when he told the disciples, some of you here won't taste death before my return. Are those they still alive? Are they still alive? Because that would have to be the premise, is that those people he told would not taste death before his return. They must still be alive, because you telling me he ain't back. He ain't coming. That's crazy. Just crazy. There's no way. Jesus Christ lied to all those people. There's no way the disciples went and did their blitz across the realm to get the word to everyone to prepare the way for Christ. And y'all are telling me today that they didn't accomplish their goal, that Jesus Christ was lying, that there were people who lied for him. It was just one big conspiracy, them telling all these people, hand to the plow. Paul telling young men, don't marry. It's not a good time. You need to focus on the Lord, your salvation. If you want to get married, don't have kids. It ain't time. It ain't time to do it. Why would they tell those people that? I mean, that would be shutting down a whole generation of people from getting married, having kids, under the guise of Christ is on his way back. I need to be ready. Why would they lie to those people? Why would they tell them that? Why would they lead them the wrong way? Because I would think the Bible, if it's the way this modern doctrine says, I would think the Bible at some point would convey to us that it's going to be, there's going to be a generation out there that's going to wonder, is this ever going to happen? And that generation needs to just be patient. It's going to happen, not in yours, not in your kids, but somehow, instead of leaving us with this ledge they put us on of, put us in back and wait. Yeah, nobody knows the hour, nobody knows the day. Now 2022 years later, after he died, still ain't no signs. Bull, there's signs everywhere. Signs all over the place. Armageddon is past. Like someone said, signs everywhere, signs. That's why I'm glad I don't believe in the modern doctrine. The modern doctrine is the devil's work. The Catholic Church, man, I love those guys. That guy's lectures, you gotta watch them. He got so much good information in there. I mean, sourced information, not opinion, sourced. And it is a spooky picture that lays out with the Catholic Church at the tip of the spear, and then them with all their secret societies and their mandate to bring them all under the worship of the Luciferian doctrine, basically. the synagogue of Satan. Oh, and this dude, oh, and that one of his lectures, I learned something there that I never heard before. He said the the little hats these days, you know, guys that wear little hats, yarmulkes, that does ain't none of those people descendants of any of the 12 tribes of Israel. That those guys all came that are in Israel. Every one of them came from Europe. Then he has all documentation of their lineage of Jews, but they're not Judeans. They're not from the 12 tribes. They're imposters, and they've played the role perfectly. I mean, it's how better than to put God's chosen people out front like this, and their message be, we don't believe in Jesus Christ. We ain't buying it. This is the way it's going to go. We are going to be, we're the chosen ones. We are the ones that are ushering in the future where Christ is going to come. He hasn't come yet, but he's gonna, for the first time. I believe is what they believe. And what better deception to put out there than a whole scenario of God's chosen ones. And then bad enough that they were in prison or enslaved in Egypt for all that time. Let's go forward in history and let's just kill a bunch of them. Let's just make this whole victim scene that's gonna change everything in our favor again. And then I haven't seen the exact deal, but I've heard too many people now say that the last census done in Europe, man, the last one done in Europe before the war started, showed that there were less than, I think, 4 or 5 million Jews in all of Europe, all of it. And then they say that the conflict came, WW2, and 6 million were gone. I don't know how you get 6 million out of 4 or 5. I don't know what's up with that. And then they took hundreds of thousands and put some in Israel, some in South America. But wow, I'm glad I don't believe any of that, because that is just unbelievable the way this whole history has been written. And it's funny that guy talks about it, how there's a lot of stuff that when pressed, they have no answers. And all of his speeches, man, if he would just at the end of his main points go, and that's how we know Christ has already returned and reigned his 1,000 years. That's how we know. Look at this. What better plan than the way our history lays out for the devil to do his deceiving once loosed? I mean, just look at it. I mean, it's so simple. When you use a religion as the very tip of the evil that's been perpetrated in this world, documented evil done on this world since its recordings, it just makes no other sense to me than that is the devil loose. This is the short season. It makes no sense. Everybody says, oh, there's a reset. We see there's a reset. We don't know. Here's old world. Here's new world. Here's high tech old stuff. Here's low tech new stuff. Wonder what happened. You wonder what happened. It was the return of Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior himself. He came in through the clouds, and there was a great trumpet blown, and yeah, that's all over. And I believe all the pyramids and all, I'm starting to believe that all the pyramids and all these great structures, especially the pyramids, they're just a communication and power source. Communications and power, all, just connected, one big network. Their tech was biblical, was divine. That's why we can't find any remnants of how they did it, of of really tools or machine-like things that show any indication of how these things were done. It's such a mystery. Nobody documented it. Nobody said, hey, if you're gonna build something like this, here's how we found best, and laid out any plans, any 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 schematics, no handbooks, just boom, there's these huge structures. Who did that? I think it was this dude named X, Y, or Z. Well, how do you do it? It looks like he probably had a bunch of slaves. Probably what happened. Sorry, man. I ain't buying it. Glad I don't believe it. There was another video that just hit my brain that I wanted to turn y'all on to. Now, I ain't putting the links in here. I'm hoping you people are smart enough to just pause and look at the channel name and go find it. I'm kind of lazy. Oh, this one, I don't know how many of y'all have seen it, but this was a great proof, man, of flat Earth. A great proof of flat Earth. And I never thought of it till I saw this, and I thought, wow, no joke. Right. I don't know if y'all watch Flat Earth Banjo Dude, but basically his theory, or I think it's freaking spot on. His analogy here is earthquakes and tsunamis. I got an earthquake is right here, and the shock waves go out equally in all directions like this, right? And they come to a land mass and they wrap around it and keep going. Some bounce back. And let me get over here to one of these good simulations that he has. Like here. See, this is one that was off of North America here, and he shows how it went down here and wrapped around all these islands of Hawaii. That that it, all these studies prove that when there's an earthquake and tsunamis ensue, that it wraps around land masses. So he's getting to the point of Antarctica cannot be what they say it is, because there is not one bit of seismic data from any of the recorded, documented earthquakes around the world that show the frequency, the sound wave going around Antarctica. It bounces off the ice wall. And the deal he talks about here, this right here, this was the 1960 earthquake in Chile. And it shows that it goes out here in the Pacific, wraps around islands, bounces off of other islands, comes back, bounces off the ice wall, comes back. Bunch of places, Hawaii, different places, had a double hit because it bounced off the ice wall and came right back at them. Nothing else explains that. Nothing. Because Hawaii, it wraps around it and goes, and it should go and it should wrap around Antarctica, Australia, all that, New Zealand, and keep going and not bounce back in a full-blown wave. Maybe some smaller ones at angles, like these things show. But it's just crazy. It's ludicrous. you know, and they tout their science. Okay, great, great. Look, here's what your science is truly saying. Yeah, here's the good simulation of that chili. Here's the ice wall, man. That sucker blew out and it hits here and starts bouncing back. It goes around New Zealand, it goes around Australia, it keeps going that way, but here it bounces back. Bing, 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 it starts bouncing back. Crazy, right? But this dude is, man. This dude, it's hard to watch him, man. He's hard to listen to. It's hard. His voice is tough to watch. And I mean, listen to. But what good information, right? Think about that. That makes so much sense. We can see the sound waves. We can see what it does. It wraps around, and when it hits like Hawaii, has some residual bounce back, and it keeps going. It wraps, and it has a little bounce back. But when it hits something solid that it can't wrap around, the whole thing comes right back. Nothing else explains it. I'm glad I don't believe their lies. I'm glad. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Follow the science. All right, follow the science. Follow the science, huh? Whatever. Well, I had finished my almost finished with my bathroom, and Ashley wanted to see it, so I'm gonna do a quick walk around. Get that up and show her. Let me get this over here. Don't make too big a mess. Hold on. Camera up there so they can see house is a mess. I don't let y'all see too much of it. We were out of town watching what is our granddaughter Lulu, and that was so much fun. Oh my god! Let's turn the light on here. It's dark down the hallway. So we'll be real quiet. Here's our big LED mirror. This thing is so cool. And see, I tore out the jacuzzi. I gotta do that next. But here is my shower I did. What do you think, guys? Gotta finish painting the bathroom. Better put my LEDs in. Gotta, there's my sensor on the wall. Gotta finish my, fill in my holes. But she's done and she's working. I don't know how good this looks on video, but I love that shower. That's cool. And the tub, big soaker tub. So, and I love that mirror. That mirror is fucking amazing. And they're not that expensive. That mirror. Or those LEDs. Those, all that LED stuff, and I've still got enough to do a whole nother 2 setups like that is. And yeah, it was easy. Real easy. All right, quick little tour. set back up. Where the heck is it? There we go. So there you go. Ashley. There's the new bathroom. Or part of it. Probably gonna finish painting that shower area today. And start on that tub area. The tub will get here. Tub doesn't get here till Wednesday. So I really can't do much until it gets here. You gotta line up the plumbing, make sure everything will fit, and then start tiling. But, well, that's my thing for today, I guess. 30 minutes. I highly suggest you rethink believing in this modern Christian doctrine they're pushing. It's got some holes in it, got some problems. I don't think all these people are honest actors. I don't think they're telling us the truth. Because there's too many groups that vow to not tell us the truth. It's out there in their own words. What do you do with that? What do you do with that when you know huge groups of people have secretly sworn to never tell you the truth, to lie to you, cheat you, do everything they can to you to keep you from the truth? What better plan of the devil's end times than using your own faith against you? Painting a picture out that you go, over history, people have gone, wait a minute, that's not so good. Heretic, kill him. We killed him in God's name because, they didn't believe it. See, it's right here. It's written down. We know the guy who translated it. He's right. He's 100% right. And hey, we've read the book and we know God says, you don't do it our way, we're going to kill you. That's just Christian of us. And how does an institution like the Catholic Church over just my lifetime have the problems they have and continue to have, and continue to have people show up and trust them and believe in them, and give this stupid Pope dude a second thought. The most disgusting thing to me is all the symbolism that the Vatican shoves right in your face. Oh my God. The clothes he wears, their statues, their art, all says demonic, all says synagogue of Satan, Luciferians, man, all of it. And people go, it's just art. It's just this artist, dude. He's eccentric that way. Doesn't mean anything. What? It doesn't mean anything. So he could have put anything up there. He could have put Hello Kitty. He could have put, whatever. And you're just like, you're the artist, man. You're the artist. Nobody looked at that evil demonic shit and went, whoa, this is God's house. What are you doing? You can't do that here. Man, we want doves and we want pictures of the tree of life. No idols. We don't do idols. Remember Christianity, God said, don't have any idols before me. Don't worship anybody but me. So don't have all that stuff. Have maybe a little representation of the tree of life, and that's about, I can't think of anything else that falls within the purview of No idols. That means pictures, statues, crosses, jewelry, anything that you show as a representation of the Lord and Savior, and say, "Oh, this means that." No, it doesn't mean that. He means that. That's it. That's it. He means that. Nothing else. Not a building, not a statue, not an old rugged cross. None of that. He represents him. And I believe beyond anything else that you turn to and go, "Oh, yes, that's worshiping that. That's not worshiping him." And he didn't want that. He said, "No, no, 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 no. Don't do that." So look at all the religions we have now. They all worship and pray to something but him. I mean, they all do. They all pervert the gospel. They all pervert everything. They go against everything. The devil's loose, guys. Not a single pure biblical church on this realm. I dare you to find one. Prove me wrong. Find a righteous church that, like Revelation says, there's going to be 6 of them. All of a sudden, my brain's messing up. You know, the six churches. One without blemish, Philadelphia. Here in this realm, right now, in any form. That's crazy. I'm glad I don't believe that. I'm glad that I don't believe our history is anything but a controlled manipulation of us. I'm glad I don't believe in our system over the last 100, 200 years of elections. How do you get over 40, 45 presidents in a row, all kin by blood? Really? Every time? Not one guy ran that wasn't in that bloodline and won? Out of all those elections, all those chances. Kind of weird, man. Just when you start thinking about it seriously. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. You can't do that hardly in a single town. Get every mayor, decade after decade, generation after generation, be in the same bloodline. But not be, right? You don't know. That guy couldn't be kin to Mayor Johnson from 25 years ago. Ain't no way. Well, you look at their trees, hell, they are. They're fourth cousins. Yeah, right. That didn't even happen that way. But in our single elective biggest office in all of our land, it's all been nepotism. Nepotism from the jump. First dude. After him, all nepotism. They were kin to him. Nepotism. What would HR today think about that? Take that to HR. That's nepotism. I wonder, it's weird if anybody's documented who right now is alive in that bloodline that's on the board, in the game. That's weird. Is there a chance the next president is kin also? Because you got to figure, eventually, got to get one outside the bloodline somehow. Just my thought. Another reason I'm glad I don't believe that. I'm glad I don't believe it. All right, everybody. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Good discernment, good vibrations. Later.